Hello everyone, let's talk about brewing this time. First video will be about what do you need to buy at your homebrew shop for starting with your own brew, your homebrew. So I'm gonna show you guys. This is what you need actually. 1 bucket or 2 buckets. This is the deluxe version. You see, the starter kit deluxe version, but it comes with all of this. Like you can see, I'm going to show you immediately what's actually in there. But all of this you get for like 50 to 60 euros, maybe a little less. And it comes with a sticker that actually says the temperature of the beer. And it also comes most of the time with a thing to stick on to see how many liters or gallons you actually top it up to with water. So let's see what's in a bucket or in 2 buckets like this starter kit deluxe you get for those 50 or 60 euros here, like maybe 40 pounds, something like that. Okay, I've got the other bucket. So what's in here actually? First of all, you get your device to put your caps on your bottles. So you have to push it down really like to the maximum. And then your caps will be tightened very well to the bottles. The next thing you get is a spoon, of course, to stir your liquid. Really important. But that will be my next video, will be about cleaning. And the third video will be about actually brewing with those kits. I'm going to show you also immediately. Then you also need to buy this one. So it comes on your spigot, on your tap. So the tap will be on the bucket. And then you have to put this one here. So your liquid will be in here. Your worts, your it's fermented already then. So you have to open it, the tap, like this. And you see there is nothing coming out. But when you push it down in the bottle, the liquid starts flowing actually until it's until it's reached to the top of the bottle. And you just got to let it loose again. And then you will see this tube actually does leave some space at the top of the bottle, enough space to put your caps on and to be sure it won't be actually exploding or something like that. So that's a really nice thing you have to buy. It isn't really expensive, of course. It's like maybe like £1.50 or something. You can buy this to put on your spigot, or like I told you. Then also with the kit comes a brush. That's actually to clean your bottles, but you can clean other stuff with it also. So do buy yourself also maybe an extra one, a little bit smaller, to clean out your taps, because every time you need to get the tap off, I do it all the time when the bucket, when it's used, I do get the tap off and clean it everywhere also. And again, do some like of that white tape for the water, around it to make a good seal. Then also you get some, this is called Puro Oxy. It's actually a OxyClean. So when this comes in contact with water, with warm water, the slides, it's like little pieces, and they will dissolve in the warm water. So you got to, it has a contact time of around like a few minutes. So you got to leave your stuff that you want to clean, like your spoon and stuff. You got to leave it a few minutes in there to be really cleaned and disinfected. Then you get also this one, an airlock, of course. That's a really important one for your CO2 to come out when it's fermentating. You get a big krausen here. The krausen is actually the top above your liquids that's in here, your homebrew actually. On the top you will see like a brown, rather nasty thing. That's your krausen, it's called. So this can get really high. So you need something like this to blow off all the CO2, all the air must be coming out all the time when fermentation is happening. Okay, so this is also in the starter kit. And then you also get this one. That's actually for the measurements to calculate your ABV, but it comes also with the kits. I'm gonna tell you more when I am brewing actually, but I broke this one, so I got to order a new one. I tried this video before, and it fell down and it was broken. So I'm gonna buy a new one, but it isn't also really expensive. So guys, for all this money, you get really some nice stuff. And those are the thinner buckets. You see they're quite thin, and they're not really high quality, but I did many brews with it, so that's no problem. But if you can get your hands on, guys, and your homebrew does sell them, then you are much better off with this one. It's really thick, it's really sturdy, and it comes with a lid that you actually have to turn on to make a very nice seal to it. So you got to put this one first. You can see the seal, the rubber seal is here. They're really much better, and they do also sell starter kits like these ones. So buy yourself also one with a tap on it, or a spigot, or how you want to call it yourself. So buy yourself one of these if your homebrew shop does have them. Also in a starter kit package, of course, because everything will be in here then, like your spoon and stuff. So this is really much better. Like I will show you. You have to put this one on, and then the lid will also be on there. So and you have to tighten it real well, and there is no air coming in or out, that's for sure. And also the airlock is completely different. Like you see, it can hold much more pressure, even when the krausen gets a little too high, and it will be in here. It won't be blocked really fast like the other one. So this also screws on to the part here, you see. And what this airlock does, when it's filled with a little bit of water, till here approximately, it will just do this all the time. Like the air comes out, the other one goes all the time, a steady noise that's rather annoying. Okay, it's fun to hear at first times when you brew your first homebrew. It's nice to have the bubbling sound all the time, but I prefer this one. It goes actually, when it's fermentating really high, it goes actually one time like so every few seconds, and you can't really hear it because the other one is more noisy, of course, with the bubbling sounds. So that's about your thing you have to buy, really, because otherwise it's impossible, of course, to brew your homebrew. But like I told you, there aren't really expensive. So I will tell you immediately, and then you will understand how cheap it is to buy to brew your own beers. So what do you also have to buy? Because this is actually a video not about brewing all grain, but about brewing with kits. So this is one of those ready actually to brew kits. Your brewer did actually all the mashing and all the hops and all the malts. Actually everything is in here already. It's a ready beer actually. It's a syrupy, thick, thick fluid. So like you can see here, I'm going to read it, what's actually around it. Genuine craft microbrewery beer making kit. You see? So you have your own brewing actually you're a microbrewery at this moment. No, but it's already made. The hops are in here. Everything is ready. This one is for master pints, but you have many, many different ones like Bulldog. Because the kit you buy, it's really important because it's better to give a little bit more money to it, then you have a much better kit, because this one is rather cheap, like 16 euros. Let's say this is like 13 pounds. But with 13 pounds, you can make 23 liters of beers. That's 40 pints of beers. So what does that mean? 40 pints, if we calculate it, it will be like 3 beers, 3 pints to 1 pound actually. So you have 3 pints for 1 pound. Don't forget that. That's really cheap. You can brew it really cheap. But you also have, okay, this is another model. Like this is in a can, but it's the same. It's also already brewed. And under the lids, you have your yeasts actually. If I can get it off. Yeah, oh, the yeast, there it goes. The yeast most of the time comes with it, with those kits also. And maybe some hops in the more expensive one. There are also hops to add, like in a little bag, like a tea bag. You have to put actually also in a little bit of hot water, like you're actually making tea, but it will be from the hops, and you have to add it also to your brew. So this comes also with this. These are not easy actually, because it's better to get the paper off first, and then because it will be really hot, you need to wear gloves, and you need to get this open also, of course, with the thing to open the can. So that's not, I rather prefer like these plastic ones. You just get to open this first, get the thing, the seal out first, because when you put this in hot water to soften the liquid up, because now it's too syrupy, then you will actually get this out and screw this one on again, because yeah, I told you when it's too hot and you have to wear gloves, it's impossible to get it out actually. So you have to do that first, but I will tell you all of that later. What you need also, and most of them kits do require them, is some extra light spray malt. That's actually a powder, malt powder, and also the yeast will eat the sugars out of this. Or you can buy yourself some brewing sugar. Mostly they ask for 1 kilogram of brewing sugar to add with these kits, these malt kits ready to brew actually. So do get yourself also from the Homebrew some brew sugar or some spray malt. I use always all the time the extra light one, because you have different ones, of course. It's just like, what beer am I going to brew? If you brew a Russian Imperial Stout, you need to get the darker ones in color, not the extra light one, of course. But you also need these ones, of course, yeah, to get also with the beer making kits, these ones. So that's all you have to actually buy. If you do it in bottles, also this starter kit, these starter kits will come with some caps also, like 100 caps. So that's also no problem. Okay, this was my first video, guys. When you all bought all of this and buy your yeast separately, because like this yeast that comes with these kits, most of the time it's not really high quality yeast. This could be, but there's nothing on it, like all the time with these kits. You don't know what's in there. So buy your yeast separately. That's always nice to know. So buy the S05 one. It's really a nice yeast, and it's the most common one and the most forgiving one, because sometimes it's the temperature will be off, and while fermentation is going on, and then you need a yeast that is more forgiving, because otherwise there could be an infection going on or something like that. So remember to buy the SO5 one or the SO4 when you brew actually like lagers. No, not lagers, because it's an ale yeast. So if you brew an IPA or something, or a blonde, you can also use the SO4 one, the yeast. But okay, I'm gonna round it up, guys. So get your stuff first, and then we go on to video number 2 about the brewing itself, of course, and the cleaning. First the cleaning, really important part, of course, and then we go over to the actual brewing. But you will see it does only take like 20 minutes to actually brew a thing like this with this ready to brew malt kits. Okay guys, bye till next video. Cheers.